Arsenal fans, hold on to your seats because the transfer window is heating up once again. And the latest reports suggest that the Gunners are keeping a very close eye on three exciting attacking options as Mikel Arteta and sporting director Andrea Berta continue their plans to strengthen the squad. After the dramatic developments surrounding Arsenal's midfield and defensive targets, attention is now turning towards the attack. And this time, the names being linked with the Emirates are seriously exciting. PEDRO NETO, Bradley Barcola, MATIAS FERNANDEZ-PARDO. Three different players, three different profiles, but one common theme. Arsenal are looking for more quality, pace and creativity in the final third. And if these reports develop further, Gunners supporters could be looking at another major attacking addition before the transfer window closes. Let's start with the biggest Premier League name on the list, PEDRO NETO. Reports indicate that Arsenal have made contact with Neto's camp to register their interest in the Chelsea winger. The Portuguese international is a player Arsenal have admired, and his ability to operate from the wing, attack defenders and create opportunities could make him an attractive option for Arteta. But there is one enormous obstacle. Chelsea are reportedly demanding around £70 million before they would seriously consider selling Neto. That is a huge price tag, especially for a player Chelsea signed with the expectation that he would become an important part of their attacking project. So why would Arsenal even consider such a move? Because Neto offers something that Arteta always values: versatility and directness. He can play from either side, carry the ball at speed, attack space, and create chances. Arsenal already possess elite technical quality, but adding another explosive attacker could give Arteta even more tactical options. Imagine Arsenal having the ability to change the game by introducing a player with Neto's pace and 1-versus-1 ability. That is exactly why this link is worth watching. However, Arsenal would have to decide whether paying anything close to £70 million represents good value. And there is another fascinating name in the equation: Bradley Barcola. The French winger has been one of Arsenal's major attacking targets, and reports continue to suggest that Barcola wants a move to the Gunners. That is potentially massive, because when a player is attracted to a particular project, negotiations can become much easier from the player's side. Barcola is exactly the type of attacking player Arsenal could build around for years. He is young, explosive, technically gifted, and capable of destroying defensive lines with his acceleration. For Arsenal supporters, this is perhaps the most exciting part of the entire story. Barcola isn't simply being discussed as another squad player. He is viewed as a player who could become a major attacking star at the Emirates, and there is now an interesting transfer battle developing. Liverpool have also been heavily linked with Barcola, meaning Arsenal cannot afford to sit back and assume that the player will simply arrive in North London. The latest reporting has kept the Barcola situation firmly on Arsenal's radar, with his preference for the Gunners adding another layer to the transfer saga. But Arsenal may have another option, and this is where the third name enters the picture: MATIAS FERNANDEZ-PARDO. The Lille attacker is reportedly attracting serious interest, and Arsenal have now been linked with a move for the young Belgian. According to reports, the Gunners are prepared to enter the bidding war for Fernandez-Pardo, potentially putting them directly against Liverpool. This is not simply a random name appearing on a transfer list. Fernandez-Pardo is viewed as one of the exciting young attacking talents who could develop into a major player at the highest level. His profile makes sense for Arsenal. He is young, technically capable, and has the potential to grow significantly with the right coaching environment, and that could be one of the reasons Arsenal are monitoring his situation so closely. Recent reports have specifically described Arsenal and Chelsea as potential rivals for Fernandez-Pardo, while Liverpool are also interested. So suddenly, Arsenal could find themselves involved in a fascinating three-way attacking transfer battle: Barcola, Neto, Fernandez-Pardo. Now, Gunners fans should be careful about one thing. This does not mean Arsenal are going to sign all three players. In fact, that would be an enormous financial commitment. Instead, the bigger picture appears to be Arsenal keeping multiple attacking options available while the club assesses the market. And this is exactly where Arteta and Berta's strategy becomes interesting. Rather than putting every resource into one target and potentially getting trapped if negotiations collapse, Arsenal can maintain several options. If Barcola becomes impossible to sign, another winger could potentially become the priority. If Chelsea's asking price for Neto remains too high, Arsenal could look elsewhere. And if Fernandez-Pardo becomes available on favourable terms, Arsenal could potentially move quickly. This gives Arsenal leverage. And after the disappointment surrounding the Vinicius Jr. situation, having alternative attacking targets could prove extremely important. The Gunners cannot afford to enter the final stages of the transfer window with only one attacking option. The Premier League is becoming more competitive every season, and Arsenal are clearly trying to build a squad capable of competing on multiple fronts. The arrival of Bruno Guimaraes has already shown that Arsenal are prepared to make major investments when they believe the right player is available. Arsenal and Newcastle agreed a £75 million deal for the Brazilian midfielder earlier this month. Now the focus could shift towards attack, and this is where things become extremely exciting. Imagine an Arsenal attack with another elite winger added to the squad. Imagine Barcola running at defenders in an Arsenal shirt. Imagine Neto arriving at the Emirates and giving Arteta another explosive option. Or imagine Fernandez-Pardo developing under Arteta and becoming one of Europe's next breakout stars. None of those scenarios is guaranteed, but the fact that Arsenal are reportedly monitoring these profiles tells us something very important. Arteta wants more attacking weapons. The Gunners are no longer satisfied with simply having a strong starting 11. They want competition. They want depth. They want players who can change games. And most importantly, they want players who can help Arsenal finally take that final step. For years, Arsenal supporters have demanded greater attacking depth. Now the club appears to be exploring the market aggressively. And with Barcola reportedly attracted to Arsenal, Neto being monitored, and Fernandez-Pardo emerging as another target, the coming weeks could become extremely interesting. The biggest question is simple. Who will Arsenal choose? Will Arsenal go all in for Barcola? Could PEDRO NETO become the surprise Premier League blockbuster? Or could Fernandez-Pardo emerge as the younger long-term option? Whatever happens, Arsenal fans should be watching this situation extremely closely. Because after the Bruno Guimaraes breakthrough, it feels like Arsenal's transfer business is nowhere near finished. The message from the Emirates appears clear. Arsenal want more quality, more speed, more creativity, more competition, and potentially another huge attacking signing. So, Gunners, tell us what you think. If you could choose only one, PEDRO NETO, Bradley Barcola, or MATIAS FERNANDEZ-PARDO, who should Arsenal sign? Let us know in the comments, because this transfer battle could become one of the biggest stories of Arsenal's summer window. And if Arsenal manage to land one of these names, the Emirates could be welcoming another major attacking star very soon. It is exactly the type of midfield capable of dominating possession against the biggest clubs while also matching the physical demands of the Premier League. It is easy to understand why Arsenal supporters have become so excited by these reports. However, as massive as the Bruno Guimaraes story is, Arsenal's ambitions reportedly go even further. According to Spanish journalist Sergio Valentin, Mikel Arteta has personally spoken with Real Madrid superstar Vinicius Jr. regarding a possible move to Arsenal this summer. The report claims Arteta directly explained his football project, outlining exactly how the Brazilian winger would fit into Arsenal's system and become one of the central figures in the club's future. That is a significant development because Arteta has built a reputation for personally convincing elite players to join Arsenal by presenting a clear vision of their role within his project. Several current Arsenal players have previously praised the manager for the detailed conversations he holds before transfers are completed, and it appears he is attempting to use that same approach once again. The biggest obstacle remains Real Madrid's valuation. Reports indicate that the Spanish giants are demanding around 100